Legend has it, a powerful Archon walks among us. Despite the legends, despite the actions, some still doubt. Hey, it's Toberman X here with a video on Zhongli. This is going to cover not necessarily a general way to build him. I will talk about general things that you can do to see differences in numbers. There are other videos out there that will talk about support Zhonglis. I'm sure there's other people coming out with DPS Zhonglis, things like that. I want to talk about the way that I'm using Zhongli, why I'm using him this way, some examples of how it goes, and then based on how I'm using him, how you might be able to augment him in some potential sets that you can use to just basically maximize your Zhongli's damage, or really his role in your team, right? Because essentially he's a geo character. You are making particles for him, because when he does his reaction, he's doing crystallize. So he really needs other people in the team to feed him reactions. But that's also something else I'll go over. So without further ado, Zhongli. So this video is going to consist of going over my armor and the reason for building it. But remember, first and foremost, the number one reason I'm building my armor is because that's what I have. I got lucky. This is what I have within my budget. So I appreciate it, and I hope that you get something equally as good or better, or find a nice workaround for the way that you want to play the game, right? So the overview is basically going to be, I'm going to go over the gear, and then I'm going to go over each talent and give examples of the talent and his utility in and outside of battle. Give some examples about how you can use him in different ways, just talk about some things generally, and then also in the end, just give a quick rundown as to what sets you could use, what things you could exchange to augment or change your numbers based on what you want. So without further ado, let's get to it. Primordial Jade Wing Spear is his weapon. High base attack. Nice that it's crit rate compared to the spear in the Battle Pass, which I'd say is the next best one, especially if you're trying to do a support build. It has like 33% crit rate, but you lose over 100%, over 100 base attack. So I think that this one is better for a DPS build. Of course, there's the pike and there's other things that, of course, that give you stacks and that will contribute to your spear damage. We're on the Retracing Bolide set, the Shield Hero set, right? My Flower and my Feather still have a long way to go, so there's still more damage to pull out of this, but you'll see in the video what I've been able to do so far with what I have so far. Here are my actual details. Don't mind the additional resistances, as those have to do with the team that I'm on. Geo damage bonus. So I'm doing attack, geo damage, crit damage, and the crit chance is on the weapon here. So next, 0 constellations, and finally is talents, and we'll go into those. Let's start with physical attacks. So I believe that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these can all be canceled out of, right? Into his skills, right? So depending on how the hit makes the enemy react, you can use that to further deal with your DPS. Now his charge attack is a very special charge attack. In his case, he does not appear on the screen, and it seems to give him some really nice invincibility frames, like from the start to the end. Like when I'm using this in certain domains until I get out of pressure, I legit don't really have any problems at all, like ever. So it's really nice, it's really useful. It is, however, hard to aim, especially in the heat of the moment, so you must be careful when you use Zhongli as a physical DPS. So for instance, right? So that's another one of his cancels. As you use the 5th hit of his spear, this will actually stun some enemies. And during that animation, you can actually switch out and maybe make sort of a safe switch and cast what you need to do to create the elemental particles that he needs to, you know, eventually get to his ult. So, going over the E, I use it to make crystallized reactions, and just by taking reactions that are happening around me, along with the crystallize, I gain elemental energy without having to do anything but let my construct do its work, and you can do a bunch of other stuff with it, as you see here. As you'll see as well, I'll add some other examples as to how the E is useful outside of battle. He's trying to float away, but the pillar won't let him.
You need some more?
Saved his life. Did you two want to become part of my shield? And to those of you who say he's not a fair character, or maybe he is busted on the other side, nah, he's the god of contracts. And the Geo Traveler. Anything else to say for yourself, Zhongli? Yo, I just did 24K? Zhongli's ultimate, Planet Befall. It is a powerful special with support qualities. If you have, make sure he has enough damage, as in attack, geo damage, and crit damage, in addition to set bonuses, bonuses on the field from your team, and he has enough elemental reactions supplying him with the particles that he needs. He will drop powerful ults often. And he can do this in both the DPS and the support role, still providing raw power to the team. And by the time that this clip ends and we go to the next clip, Zhongli will be dropping his ultimate again. So, let's check out some other examples. $15K. All these examples are with no buffs, damage, and utility. I wonder if these work. Oh, it does. In closing, Zhongli is diverse. You can do a lot with him. People seem to be favoring the support build currently, but it is not his only route. He can be primary DPS, he can do damage, he can be support, he can just be like utility on your team, like you feel like climbing his pillar more than you do some of the rocks. Whatever you like to do. If you got Zhongli, I hope you're happy. If you got him and you're not happy, hand him on over. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching my video. But last but not least, in this closing, I wanted to talk about things that you could do. If you wanted to go full physical damage, you just want to like just use your spear, you don't care anything about the geo, all you have to do is change to a physical damage cup and then change how you allocate your talents, and you can use the exact same build, or you can use other builds that focus more on physical damage and attack percent. But the retracing bolide set has really, really good damage for normal and charge attacks. And if you're just trying to use pure Geo, I would suggest a 4-piece Geo set or a 2-piece Geo set with a Noblesse. Or if you're just after ult, you can do 2-piece with an attack increase. But it's important to understand why you put armor on him and what you're trying to do, essentially. So comment if you're not sure based on what's going on in this video. I kind of like implied it, I didn't just say it right out. I'll be happy to answer and make like further in-depth videos on like my theory of building right now and how it's been evolving as I've been playing the game. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you feel like it. I appreciate you watching. Peace.